Monster Hunter Wilds. Drix, what'd you think? This is you on the B-roll.
Dude, man, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of boss fight the game done in this way, but Monster Hunter almost has like a culture behind it. Um, maybe, kind of Japanese, maybe a bit of an import. Um, but you know, you're getting together with your friends. I know people that used to play Monster Hunter on their PSPs and stuff, and in high school.
Nice.
And this feels super solid. It's just I feel like I'm returning home again almost because I played World and Rise, and the biggest difference between all three of them, I think, is just transversing around the map. Um, you had a bit of the Spider-Man kind of grappling hook action in Rise, but this one you have a Seek It, or a monster, kind of like your mount that follows you around. And the biggest change I noticed was there's an auto move on your Seek It when you're mounted.
Ooh.
And so when you're hunting and you're beating up on a monster and then it runs away, you're appropriately named like Seek It will seek it and automatically run towards wherever the monster flees to. If you've played Monster Hunter before, there is the same selection of weapons, and before you really dig into it, like if you're a newcomer to the franchise and the series, you gotta just try all the weapons out, and that's kind of what this beta test did and sort of was good at doing. You get in there, you enjoy your little cinematic cutscene introduction, and then you could just get to trying out all the weapons, because some would say, oh, monsters are weak against bullets, and you can just go completely ranged, not even go anywhere near any monsters, blast them from far away. You got your several different varieties of axes, and they all kind of swing a little bit differently. The hunting horn, man,
Oh.
you hit a monster with like this giant saxophone thing.
Wait, what?
And it's the hunting horn. It's almost like the bard class, where you can play songs that give stat bonuses to your party members if you group up on your hunts. So yeah, a lot of cute Japanese charm in like your palicos, and like if you don't go on hunts with groups, you always have like your fun cat friend with you all the time.
I remember that from Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, exactly. And they've been around for a while, always cooking up delicious meals to give you bonuses on and stuff. I'm really excited for the release of this one. It's a current gen edition of the Monster Hunter series that we haven't seen one just quite yet. So beautiful visuals as always, and you can choose to play the game in the Monster Hunter language, or like change the palicos so they sound more or less not human. But yeah, Monster Hunter language continues and carries on. I got to group up with some people online, and there's like about 3 hunts. There's like 3 different monsters. And they're probably just sizing up the servers and seeing how they handle things. But me as a fan, like, I'm super excited to dive into Monster Hunter Wilds and team up and get hunting.
It definitely looks beautiful. You're seeing it right here on the B-roll. The cutscenes and definitely the food looks amazing. You mentioned your palico, but I'm cooking up all the food. But one of the things that I'm really interested in is, like you were saying, you teamed up with people online. Did you think that, was there anything new that like stuck out to you from the online play as someone who's like a seasoned Monster Hunter player? Or was there anything like when you jumped into this that like you couldn't really hit the ground running? Like anything brand new, anything blindsiding you? Like is there anything for like feels like it's made for the new player, or is this just feel like just straight Monster Hunter?
Yeah, it kind of just feels like straight Monster Hunter. One thing I noticed was I think like the lobby size got like a healthy boost because it feels more like a gathering hub when you're in the base camp. There's
Okay.
there I I jumped on for like the second time after the introduction, and just saw like, oh, this place is populated. There's people here, and even
Kind
when
of
you're
like a
on
Destiny
hunts,
thing.
yeah, a little bit. And even when you're on hunts, you can still receive messages from what's going on elsewhere in the lobby. So maybe like new levels of like communication and stuff like that, easier to navigate around some of the shortcuts, and a lot of like, oh hi, nice to meet you. Oh sorry, I let the monster run away. Those are always fun. The
What?
nice little chats you end up having, especially if your teammate, his name is in like Japanese or something. They're always very nice.
Oh, hey, you know what? At least people are courteous. Monster Hunter, like you were saying, kind of got a culture based
Co-op
around the
at its
game.
core. Yeah, like their Monster Hunter has like a language, Monster Hunter language. It's funny when I always try to set your game in that language if you can. It's a lot of fun.
Hell yeah! So, from what I understand, there's gonna be another beta period coming up here. Do you think you're gonna do you think you enjoyed it enough that you would jump back into another beta period before, or if it was offered to you, or you think you think even if there what you saw was like the most out of it, do you think you want to just jump back in, or do you think I'm cool? Maybe if you haven't played the beta before, someone listening hasn't played the beta before, check it out. But for someone like you, or for anybody else with PlayStation Plus who has had the beta, is it worth going back when the public beta happens? Or is it, if you played it and that's all that there is to offer, then you're pretty much ready for the full game when it comes out at the top of the year next year?
Yeah, you're more or less ready if you dive into the beta and play it a little bit. I would check it out again to see if there's anything more, or to see how the servers handle. Maybe test out your own internet connectivity.
True.
Yeah, and I want to see if they add a little more content, because you can't really like smith anything. Like there's a huge,
Oh.
not learning curve, but like there's so much loot and equipment to like upgrade and stuff. So they don't really show you too much of that, but there's a lot of there's in any Monster Hunter game, there's always like a lot of replayability, like at the end, like even if you roll the credits,
Yeah.
like you're still gonna keep playing after you've sort of beaten like the base game, until like the expansion comes out or something. But
Yeah.
you can always team up even further and just like get the sickest armor and stuff.
Absolutely,
baddest
isn't it?
weapons.
I would always think that Monster Hunter, big part of Monster Hunter was the crafting, and to hear you say that there's not a lot of, or that there's no crafting, oh dang, or at least no crafting
Not in
in
the
the beta.
beta.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no crafting in the beta. Like, man, you're out there fighting the monsters, base armor.
Go for it, man!
Yeah,
like,
it's pretty nice. If you show up late to Monster Hunter, usually they'll give you like a nice set of starter armor that can get you, say, from the base game to like an expansion, if they come out with one later.
nice. Well, it sounds awesome. It sounds like just if you're a fan of straight up Monster Hunter, you're down with the Monster Hunter formula and you want more. Hey, like I said, I'm not a big Monster Hunter guy, but I'm watching this B-roll. It looks gorgeous. This big toad you're fighting, the food, it looks so fun. It looks like all the attacks you're landing on it look heavy and meaty, especially
Yeah.
when you like land the heavy attacks and then shoot the gun.
Yeah, the gun lance. Oh my god, the only game to feature a gun lance, really. So my path is always was the best offense is a solid defense. So I like to block the attacks with the shield. The lance is usually my go-to, but the gun lance just fires off shells too. So that's fun. You can charge those up.
Hell yeah! So from Drix, he's a Monster Hunter fan, seasoned Monster Hunter player. He says it's straight up Monster Hunter. If you have not played it, or if you did not check out the beta for the PS Plus players, you didn't have time like me. When it comes back around, check it out. but I will say now, correct me if I'm wrong here, Drix, but it doesn't sound like there's if this isn't your thing, if maybe you're someone like me, it might not change hearts and minds when it comes to the franchise. But
No,
I want to jump in just to see these visuals in high fidelity on my screen. Like,
yeah. I like the sense of community almost. The hunters, the gathering hub. You can always hop on like the official Monster Hunter Discord if you need people to hunt with. And
nice.
There's probably people out there who are happy to help out any new players with any questions.